Hello my friends, RetroStew here as always, and today I bring you another video of ads to my collection. Today I'm going to talk about some Super Nintendo and Mega Drive ads, so this is going to be a video 100% about 16-bit consoles that I collect for. So my friends, nothing else to say, let's get it started. So my friends, let's start with some 16-bit games. The first game I'm going to talk about is Toy Story for the Super Nintendo, of course. Is it a cool game? Yeah. It looks a little bit better than the Mega Drive version. Yes, true. Is it an amazing game? Yes, it is. But I'm not crazy about it. I'm not crazy about the Mega Drive version. I have it for years now. And it's cool to have the Super Nintendo version too, but it's not a game that I'm crazy about. But it is a great game. And it looks a little bit better on the Super Nintendo, I can tell you. Next game I'm going to talk about is another one of those cases where LJN put their hands on a wrestling game and made something horrible, and it is Royal Rumble. Is it a bad game? No. Is it an amazing game? No. Is it okay? Sort of. For me, the best wrestling game there is on the Super Nintendo is Muscle Bomber on the Super Famicom, aka Slam Masters in Europe. That's the best wrestling game you can have. It's from Capcom, and I love it. These ones, so. You can play them once in a while and still have fun with them. The next game I'm going to talk about is a strategy game that I really like. I've heard about this game a million times, never had the opportunity to play it. I played a little bit the other day, and I think it's pretty cool. And it's Cannon Fodder. I think it's cool. I think it's a cool little strategy game. Having some fun with it. I like it. Next game I'm going to talk about is a puzzle game. Everybody talks about this puzzle game. I finally have the opportunity to play it. It's by Capcom. It's amazing. It looks good and sounds good. And it is Goof Troop. Very cool. Very lucky to have this game. Love playing it. It's really good fun. So these are the first games I'm going to show. Let's continue. The next group of games I'm going to talk about are still some Super Nintendo games. I'm going to start with a game that I already had, but I had it in the Super Famicom version. Nothing against the Super Famicom or Famicom versions of the game, but now I finally got it in the PAL version. Of course, I'm in Europe, so it makes more sense to have the PAL version, and it is Super Castlevania 4. What else can you say about this game? It's amazing. Not going to really talk about it a lot. I have this game for some time now, and I love it. Next game I'm going to talk about is a soccer game, and it is International Super Soccer. Love it. Great game. Funny how the FIFAs on the Super Nintendo are not that good, and on the Mega Drive they're amazing, but this is a case where you have a great soccer game on the Super Nintendo. So grab this game, my friends. If you like soccer, this is worth it. Next game is a gem. Really like it. It is Circus Mystery, starring Mickey Mouse. Excellent. Beautiful game by Capcom. Love it. Sound, music, image, everything. Great, just like Capcom always made back in the day. Now a game that I really didn't pass too much time with it, don't really get into it yet. I prefer Pac-In-Time, and it is Pac-Man 2, The New Adventure. As I was saying, I prefer Pac-In-Time. I think it's a more cool platformer. This one is kind of weird in a sense, still not into it yet. Gotta play some more probably. And the last game for Super Nintendo that I'm going to talk about is Asterix and Obelix. These games only came out in Europe. If you have an opportunity, if you're from foreign seas, not from Europe, grab these games. They're amazing. I already had Asterix. Asterix and Obelix is more of the same, and it's that good more of the same. There's no problem being more of the same when it's good, and this is one of those cases. So these are all the Super Nintendo games that I got in the late times. So my friends, let's continue. The last thing I'm going to talk about in my video, are a Mega Drive game that I got. General Chaos. I like it. It's amazing. It's a cool strategy game without any strategy. So sometimes it is very irritating to play, but it's cool. I love it. I think it's funny. It came from a friend of mine. He did an excellent price, Geronimo. He didn't really get into the game. I love it. It's a cool add to my collection. He got me complete in the box. Extra cheap, my friend. Thank you. And I recommend it. Some people hate it. I love it, but hey, I am a little bit of a masochist when it comes to games. So, continuing. The last two things I'm going to talk about is a Turbo Controller third party for the Super Nintendo from back in the day. Love it. It gets the job done pretty well, and it's a great controller. having a lot of fun with it, using it, of course, for the turbo options. And something I've already talked about some videos ago, and finally I get the opportunity to have the original controller. Funny, I have the console in the box, I have the manuals, I have everything, but I didn't have one of the original controllers. Now I do, and it is one of the controllers for the Mega Games 2 that only came out in Portugal by Echo Films. Yes, it is compatible to the Mega Drive if you know how to do it. A little touch inside, and it is compatible to the Mega Drive. And it's a cool option to have a 6-button controller, cheap. And I'm very happy about this because this is part of Portuguese history of gaming. Friends, nothing else to say. Be well and subscribe to my channel if you didn't yet. And have a nice weekend, or the rest of the weekend in this case. Be well.